Hey folks, David Stewart here. I'm taking a step back from independent publishing, and I wanted to make a video explaining that for those of you who care. I've said before, ideally, if you stop doing a thing, you should just stop doing it and not make announcements about it or something like that. But I did want to explain why I'm doing this, because I know that there's some of you that care about my books. You like to read my books, and you care about when the next book is coming out and things like that. By the way, you can get King Leper. I did just have a book come out, and this will be the last one for a while. You can get it on Amazon now, King Leper, if you missed the Kickstarter. It's a great classic fantasy book. It does have a little bit of modern stuff, so I like to call it George R. R. Martin meets Poole Anderson, maybe, and I think you'll like it. So check it out. It is on Amazon finally, so you can read that. But why I'm taking a step back from independent publishing, I wanted to give some reasons for that for people who care. I think a lot of people who aren't following me because they read my books very often are just not going to notice, and that's fine. They'll be interested in whatever next project I come out with, and that's great too. That's what I'm hoping, is maybe if I do a game or something, you'll be interested in that, or you'll be interested in the music that I'm going to focus on and where my heart is going to take me next. So the first reason is really a creative reason, and it's the same stuff that I talked about in that sclerosis video, is that when you get into a good rhythm of things, you start to repeat yourself. You start to do the same thing over and over again. And for me, I need to feel that creative chaos. I need to feel like I'm doing something new and interesting. I can't repeat the motions. I know lots of people have wanted me to repeat something that they've liked. They want a sequel to Voices of the Void. And I actually have a sequel in mind, but I don't know if I'll write it. And if I do, I don't know if people will like it, because it'll be different than the first book, right? It won't repeat things. And I find myself annoyed as an artist when I am repeating things. If I'm using the same format for a plot, I start thinking I want to toss the book out, right? Even though I know most people are not going to notice it. And the people who do are not going to mind, probably. But, it starts to annoy me. I don't want to ever be repeating the same thing. That's boring, and I don't think it's artistically very interesting. So I just want to do different things. That's why I don't want to be independently publishing books right now, is I want to do something different with my skills, my talent, my time, that is vivifying for me. It's the same reason people leave big name bands, is they want to try something else creatively. They're not feeling fulfilled spiritually in that circumstance, and so they leave to try something else. And as long as you are stuck in your cycle that you're doing, you're not going to be pushing yourself to do new or interesting or risky things, which is what you have to do. I think being an artist is about taking risks, and that means risks with what you're saying in your art. That's the format of your art, what you're doing in your life, what kind of art you're choosing to make. All of those risks have to happen, and if you're not taking those risks, I think it's very difficult to grow as an artist. Okay, so that's the first reason, is that I just want to avoid stagnation. I've been doing this for like 9 years. I know how to do it. I know how to publish a book on Amazon. I know how to do all that stuff. So that's the first one. But it's definitely not the only reason. There are some other reasons that I'll mention that I don't want to offend anybody, but it's inevitable, because people put their person and their heart, and they want to defend any decision that they're making creatively or in their business or as consumers. That if I'm saying something negative about that, you don't need to defend it, because it's not about you. It's about me, okay, when I talk about this kind of stuff. So the indie fiction market is garbage right now. It really sucks. Now, it's never been great, but it's really bad right now. And what's making it bad? AI. Okay, AI is what's making it bad. AI has destroyed the independent fiction market on Amazon. has completely obliterated it. It has nuked it from space. It's dead. There's no reason to even publish things on Amazon anymore, as far as I can see. Now, you can get King Leopard on Amazon. Here it is. It'll be blue if you get it. Available in paperback and hardback. There's no reviews for it on Amazon. Why are there no reviews? Well, partially it's a long book. It takes a while to read. But it's really that even the readers who like me would rather buy it from Kickstarter and get the special product that's like signed and everything. They just are not interested in buying a thing from Amazon. The fact that it's with that trusted Amazon brand doesn't mean that much. The fact is that AI has destroyed the trusted brand status of Amazon, or Amazon as the big marketplace has been really hurt. And now, it wasn't great before. It was really bad before, but AI has made it terrible. Now, AI has not made it bad because of competition. That is what the AI bros believe, is that artists that like, he's just upset because he can't compete. No. It's that, let me think of a cool analogy. Let's say we're panning for gold. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. It's really hard to find gold. That's what it's like to find good books on Amazon. You're panning for gold, and maybe you find some flecks of gold as you're panning. You're like, yes, these little flecks of gold are really valuable. I'm going to be able to collect enough of these, right? That's what it's like to be a consumer on Amazon. Now imagine while somebody's panning for gold, you come in with 5 dump trucks and you just dump iron pyrite into the riverbed. And you're like, okay, guys, there you go. It's like piles of fool's gold, right? Piles of iron pyrite. Okay, there's the same amount of gold. It's just buried under tons and tons and tons of rocks and garbage that make it impossible to find the gold at that point. So AI has produced, and it continues to produce, and I believe in the future will produce even more noise. It's producing bad products that are garbage, but those things are going to crowd out your ability to see things that aren't, that aren't garbage, basically. And for every author that thinks he's somehow getting a leg up by using AI to publish a bunch of crap, the problem is that eventually you're going to run up against the iron wall of there's so much other stuff out there, you can't cut through the noise. It doesn't matter how good your AI is. It doesn't matter how well you edit it or whatever. It doesn't matter how many AI books you put out. I'm going to put out 1,500 AI books. It won't matter. It'll just be a drop in the ocean. You just won't be able to do anything with it. And consumers, because they'll get so burned by being unable to find anything they like, even if they do like the AI crap, they will very quickly figure out that they can just have the LLM make them the book directly. And in fact, I think Amazon has already launched a service that does that in terms of like visual stuff. It just, the robot, rather than finding a video you'll like, just makes you a video you like. Okay. That's the future of AI, and that's what we'll get there. Authors rushed to use AI because it let them do what they always wanted to do, which is to not write books. Right? They've been doing this for years. They've been not writing books for years. And what I mean by that is they've been hiring ghostwriters and plagiarizing and doing what, like an AI might as well write the genre slop that's associated with indie fiction at this point. It doesn't change anything. It's like the AI writes the genre slop instead of a bad author writing the genre slop. It was really bad garbage before, and now it's even worse garbage now. There's just a lot more of it, okay? What we didn't need were more indie fiction stories. We didn't need more genre fiction, right? It's the same thing with art. It's like, did we need endless amounts of AI art? We had an excess of art as it was, and we had an excess of books as it was. Accelerating it using AI tools and stuff is not going to do the market any services. And so if you are an artist, a real artist, somebody trying to make real art, it is an environment that's so hopelessly hostile to quality, to artistic integrity, to having an authentic voice, to having something to say, to working in an actual, like trying to make literature, that there's just not a big reason to do it right now. Not till something major shakes up the market is it going to be worth it to go out there and try to do the Amazon game. The Amazon game is dead. Now you can still do stuff on Kickstarter. You can still do stuff outside of the Amazon beast, and maybe I will do more of that. Maybe we'll have some special editions of some of my former books or some of my older books, like I did with King Leper. But definitely what I've learned from this cycle with King Leper is that it does not matter if it's on Amazon. It doesn't matter. The problem with doing something like Kickstarter is you have to already have a following. So it used to be you could try to build up an audience by publishing on Amazon, and I think that is just not going to happen anymore. But you have to think about like the general indie space. Indie fiction, it's like there's no gatekeepers. We can be as artistic as we want to be. And it's like what people rush to do was to make the sloppiest slop. I hate using the word slop because it feels trendy now, but I don't have a better word for it. Making things that are undifferentiated, that are about targeting your microgenre and filling the book with as many tropes as you can. Writing garbage, like writing stuff that just is disposable. It's like eating a Big Mac and then throwing the wrapper away and forgetting you have an idea of a Big Mac existing. Like do you remember any difference between Big Macs that you've eaten? Right? You maybe know what a Big Mac tastes like, or like some chicken nuggets from McDonald's. But do you remember a single chicken nugget experience as a singular chicken nugget experience? Probably not. And that's what genre fiction is in the indie fiction sphere, is you don't, after a while, the books start to blur together because they're all the same. And I don't want my books to be all the same with that. So I just don't want to be a part of that market. And in fact, the longer the indie fiction market goes on, the more embarrassed I am of being a part of it at all. Right? I'm not saying I'm going to unpublish my books or something like that, but it's embarrassing. Like if I talk to someone and they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm an author. I write books. That's what I write books." And they're like, "Oh, are you independently published?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a white male, so it's really hard to publish normally for people like me." I start coming up with excuses for why I'm not traditionally published. I believe in the future there's going to be a big service that publishers will have just as a filter. Just that if a publisher puts out the book, it's not AI, and it's going to be a minimum quality, even if it's like, it's full of SJW stuff, right? But it's not, it's not the genre slop. So we kind of scleroted. We hardened into these two camps, and I don't want to do something that's different. I want to do a third way, and I just don't have the opportunity to do that. I just don't want to be associated with that, with the culture. I don't want to be associated with the movement. I don't want to be associated with the people putting out the AI books. I don't want to know about them anymore. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want them interacting with me on Twitter. I don't want them. I don't want to have any association with them whatsoever anymore. And that kind of means not being associated with the entire movement. And if that offends you, then I'm sorry. That's the way it is, right? Is like, I'm going to say something, and it's really unfortunate because I wish this wasn't the case. If you're looking for one filter to help you avoid bad books, it would be to never read an independently published book. Now, I love my books. I've worked really hard on them, and I love them. But if you were to apply that filter and not read my books, you would still come out ahead, because you would also not read a lot of other bad books. Okay, maybe my books suck. I don't know. I love them, but that's a real filter, right? For me as a reader, unless I have a personal relationship with that author and really know his writing, I'm not confident I'm going to enjoy his book, right? I've been burned so many times in indie fiction as terms of quality, in terms of the quality of what's there. It's boring, or it's stupid, or it's just not good. It's just not well done. That I'm on the wrong side of that filter. And so I need to stop doing this. That's all. So I'm sorry if that offends people. I'm sorry if that hurts any feelings that are out there. Maybe I won't publish this video because I'm too afraid of hurting people's feelings about independent fiction, but it's in a terrible state. It was not in a great state before. It's full of fakes. It's full of phony people. I don't want to be associated with them anymore. And so I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to say I'm never going to write another book again. I probably won't be able to stay away because of who I am. And I'm not going to say I'm never going to publish another book again because I am what I am. And I feel like I have so much more work to do, even in my fantasy worlds. There's very few people who care about what I'm doing. I care about it, right? I care about it. And part of caring about it for me and having pride in myself is like not allowing myself to get into a crowd that is going to just tarnish what I do and tarnish my opinion of myself and tarnish my books. Maybe I'll unpublish them all. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm interested as far as what other people are going to say. You know, I'm interested in the comment section. I love the comment section. I never quite know what to expect when I make a video. The YouTube comment section's good. So please let me know what you think, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great, great day.